Welcome back to What Would It Cost? On today's episode, we're sitting down with 3 female powerhouse realtors in the Ontario market.
Today we're here with Laura Compagni, Kate Broddick, and Marina E.
Stands for Evstathiadis, but it's a Greek last name and half of the alphabet. So
Well, thank you so much for coming to sit down with us today. We really appreciate it. And we're excited to talk about the market, especially being a female realtor in the market. So give us a little bit of insight on, what it takes to become a female realtor in this ever-growing market. Start with you, Laura.
All right. Well, first of all, I would say that the market's changed a lot. It's evolved, and there are a lot of female realtors in the market as actually licensed realtors. But I would say that one of the important goals that a woman realtor should have is to really align yourself with a mentor. Doesn't necessarily have to be the broker of record as a female, but someone that you can trust, that you can ask for help or information, that you don't feel that there's going to be any issues with safety or just being yourself. Authenticity is so important in this business, and so the ability to have somebody that you trust.
And also, let's be honest, we're women, we can multitask. We run households, we have businesses or careers. So I think when you take that into a marketplace where as women we're gifted to be nurturers, we are gifted to build relationships, real estate is an exceptional career to get into because it's about building trust with our clients, right? And that's, in my opinion, at the forefront of our business in order to have those successful transactions. And I think that female empowerment, that nurturing side of a woman really does play out in this marketplace.
I also wanted to add, safety is definitely something that is crucial for us women who are realtors. You never really know what someone's intent is when they reach out to you. And nowadays, real estate has kind of changed, right? So you have a bunch of online leads coming in. You don't know who these people are. So being a female realtor, you really need to kind of learn how to wean out the bad weeds, or pick out the bad weeds and prioritize your safety.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a huge point, especially like you said, you don't know who you're going to be seeing, and now everything's very online based. You're not come to my office first, let's meet. Okay, this is what your price range is. We're going to go look. It's here's the list and let's go look right there. So it's a huge point.
All of your social medias are really, really, really amazing, and they're almost like scream at you, right? In a big way, and you could really tell and feel that there's so much passion for what it is you do, right? And go into a little bit about how you start to really tie in what you do on a day-to-day and have that come through the screen and be so just energetic, right?
I think one of the biggest things is the social media, how it's been blasted out right now. 10 years ago you might have seen Facebook ads, possibly maybe Facebook groups, but now with Twitter and Instagram especially, we're just seeing this onboarding of young, vibrant, and experienced agents come to the table with their personality, which is something that we weren't able to see before. And it allows your audience to really connect with you. And I mean, for myself, real estate can be really drab. We're selling houses. It's not always as exciting as what it may look like on Selling Sunset. So to be able to integrate things like reels and video and to really showcase your personality while also advertising and marketing your clients' properties, I think is such an important aspect of how real estate has changed and really been able to make us very dynamic in our roles as realtors.
Right.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right, what we do hasn't changed. We open the door, we walk through a house, we point out features and everything like that. But what has changed is the social media aspect of it. And it's crazy because when I first started out in the industry, I was like, okay, I have to be professional and do professional headshots and all of this. And I started just recently in the last 2-3 years getting comfortable with posting who I am and what I like. And it actually has attracted a lot more buyers and sellers compared to just being professional, this is me at the office working. And it's no, I'm also drinking a glass of wine at the office.
The classic realtor picture, the phone looking up at the stars.
There's not a Pinot Grigio in front of me while I'm working. Am I really working?
It's so true. It's so true.
It allows you to really attract the audience that you speak to. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think the biggest misconception is the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're going to get rejected all the time, right? When you put yourself out there, whether it's on social media, video, or even if social media didn't exist, you're going to have clients that don't connect with you.
Right.
But instead of focusing on that, focus on the people who do connect with you.
Yeah.
Right? Those are your people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, be your authentic self, like Laura was saying, and you're going to have the right people come to the table, and those relationships are going to be a lot stronger because they already feel like they know you,
Right.
which is important.
Yeah.
And that deal, like that transaction will be just so much smoother and so much more fun. Like you're actually going to enjoy working with your client.
And it saves a lot of the explaining yourself and trying to sell yourself when you are in front of the client. It's almost as if they already know you and they already understand what your capabilities are, and they're ready to sign and just start rocking and rolling right away.
They
Right?
feel connected.
Yeah, which
Exactly.
screams efficiency.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, hey, let's get to it.
Yeah.
Social media, from my point of view, is an extension of who we are. And a really good compliment to me, and I don't think people realize how important this is to me. They'll say, oh my God, you're exactly the way you are on social media.
Yeah.
And that is so important. And people have to understand that by being your genuine self, don't worry about being judged. Like sometimes I'll be somewhere, I have no makeup on, my hair's not done, but that's who I am, that's me. And people get to know you, as everyone is saying here, through social media. That's their first introduction if they don't know us outside of that. And I'll share with you that a few years back, when I first started to get into social media, I was really, this is my second career. So this is a reinvention of myself, right? I was in the corporate world. Now I'm in real estate, where you're an entrepreneur, very different roles. And so when I first got into real estate, I was posting a lot of quotes because it's really what helped me to get out of bed and start my day. It is these positive affirmations. And then people started to gravitate to that because that's who I was. And so I was attracting this positive set of influencers. And so I would say that my message to the viewers would be, sometimes people are really outside their comfort zone with social media. And I would encourage you to be yourself, be funny, and, it's an expression of your individuality. And people who don't like who you are not going to follow you. And that's okay, because you want to attract your positive sphere of key influencers. You don't want to attract the negative people. You don't want to do business with the negative people. And I get to choose who I want to do business, just like other people get to choose if they want to do business with me.
We'll be right back after this brief message.
We take care of everything. Well, almost everything. Our mortgage agents are dedicated to propelling your financial goals. Spark Financial Group, where finance creates freedom.
Welcome back to What Would It Cost? We're here with our three powerhouse female realtors, Laura Compagni, Kate Broddick, and Marina E.
So I just wanted to touch upon, Laura, what you were saying at the tail end there about positivity with social media, because I think that's huge right now, especially in the market that we're going into, because we just came off of like a huge high in 2020, 2021. And I feel like now it's a lot of fear mongering, especially like with our clients. We get a lot of first time home buyers. So especially around my age group, and they're like, I'm never going to be able to buy. I'm never going to be able to get in. And I just feel like it's just social media just saying like, oh, it's bad, recession's coming, the world's ending. So I just want to get like all of your outlooks right now, and just give that a little bit of that positivity to show some light at the end of the tunnel for some of these new buyers or these existing buyers or investors as well.
What I would share with the viewers is that you really need to align yourself with an amazing team. So who is the mortgage company, financing institution that is really working with you to help you understand what you're able to buy, what you're able to afford, what the market direction is, and then who is the realtor that has the experience that you could trust, that you have a relationship that's going to be honest and help you to build a strategy of where you should be going into this market. And so if you're an investor, my investors have not stopped investing. As a matter of fact, they've actually increased investing. So every market has a different target of buyer. In this particular market where it's a little bit more difficult to maybe get your financing, the mortgage company will help with that. But the investors are out there because there's really good price points in terms of buying properties. And again, you have to be able to have a realtor that you can trust so they can find you the amazing tenant who's going to pay you that rent, because the rental market has literally like skyrocketed. So you'll be able to get profit from your equity investment. In terms of first-time buyers, I would say to you that there's a little bit of a challenge in that area. However, it's never been more affordable to get into the market. So there's a balance. Again, working with an amazing team, you can get through this a little bit of a downturn in the market. Real estate has always been, investing in bricks and mortar has always been the number one, I would say, in my experience, opportunity to grow your wealth. Okay? Because unless you're trying to flip, then basically you're gambling, right?
And I would say, even just to take a positive spin on first-time home buyers, like, guys, your down payment, that's what most first-time home buyers struggle with.
Yeah.
So back in January to March, you had these massively inflated prices, and even just to get 5% down just to buy into that market was really, really hard. So you speak to your mortgage brokers or your financial advisors, and if you take what was the average price back in the wintertime, which are these overinflated prices, and you look at today, we're talking sometimes $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 differences in prices. Look at the down payment. It's so much smaller, so much more attainable for that first-time home buyer. And even though the interest rates are a little bit higher, historically, we are not as high as what they have been. So I think what we're seeing right now is we've been a little bit spoiled, right? A little entitled to these really, really, really low interest rates. And now that things are leveling off, instead of looking at this like it's a negative, people can now actually buy and sell in real estate in an affordable way. And it's less stressful. We were just talking about this. Like, it was chaos in the winter. That wasn't fun for anybody. Now you can put your due diligence clauses back in, your home inspections, your finances, even sale of property in my market. So I think this is a great time to be investing.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think the last 2 years people were treating like the stock market, just trying to get in. Okay, let's see what we could do. Let's flip it. Whereas now, to go to your point and your point as well, it's a long-term game, and the rental income, it's huge right now. Like, it's amazing what you could yield from it. And then also to your point about the down payment, it was always over that $1 million threshold where you had to come up with 20%. Whereas now you're lowering. Like, I've seen a couple properties already with clients bringing in the Toronto area, $990, $900. You could go down to your 10% or your 12%, or if you're getting closer to the 5%. So definitely. Positive outlook on the market.
So what do you guys advise the audience to look for in a realtor?
Results driven is always one of the best things you can look at for someone who has been in the game. It doesn't necessarily have to be a certain length of time, but are they selling properties, right? Do they have listings? Do they have a history with buyers? Do they have a niche market? I mean, I know I can't speak in my market in Brantford. We don't have a big condo market as the GTA does, but there are a lot of specialty niche markets. So if you're looking to buy a condo, I'd be going to the woman or man who is specializing
just the woman.
in that market, right? And so I think results driven is a big thing to look for, and honesty. I mean, you want someone who's going to walk into a property and they're going to point out the things that you should be aware of. Not scare tactics, but you should always be aware of things that a realtor takes notice of. Because even like first-time home buyers, even experienced buyers, they don't always notice everything on that first walkthrough, right? It's like bells and whistles. It's like sensory overload. So they're just so excited to be there, and it's an exciting process.
Honesty is definitely, I think, one of the most important things. And obviously, yes, experience, but as long as you're with also a good brokerage and have a good team helping them, I think new agents, actually, we don't give them enough credit, right? Because they're the ones who are like hungry and like they're fresh in it. Like they're going to go like that extra mile for you because like they want it. Yeah.
They do hustle.
I've been doing this for almost 7 years now. And I just remember when I first started in my first year, someone was like, how much experience do you have? I'm like, 1 year. I go, but I'll pick up the phone. You try calling that Remax guy. Yeah, let's see if he answers your phone call right away. But yeah, you want someone who's just there for you nonstop and like who's available at all times to kind of just pick up your phone, even if it's at 12 o'clock in the morning, like I'm answering my call. So communication is key.
Transparency too, that great core values. And I find that a lot of people are just wanting to people please, and they don't want to deliver bad news, even though sometimes bad news has to be delivered. So that transparency and just being honest with the clients is beautiful for building that longevity.
I would share that authenticity and trust is critically important. And I'm going to share a couple of examples because my colleagues here were so on the mark with their comments. A couple of times I've been put in some really tough situations, probably more than a couple of times. One time I was up against really crazy realtors who were also my friends, and it was a really amazing opportunity to list this gorgeous home. And at the end of the day, the seller said to me, look, you know what, Laura, you're the first one that's come here. We have these 2 other realtors that we're going to interview. And I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to let you know tonight. I said, well, that's fine. And I respect that. And I knew them because we got to know each other, my vibe, we attracted, basically we felt really comfortable with each other. However, as I was leaving, I went to the front door and I turned around and I said, look, you are going to deal with whoever you feel in your gut instinct that you're going to be able to trust, who you're going to feel that you're going to be able to build a relationship with, and who you feel is going to tell you the truth about whatever matter you put in front of them. So I went to my car, I was about to start my car, and then I get this phone, get back in here and sign this listing. And so that was an experience I wanted to share with you. Another one I will share with you as well is I was in the process of going on a listing appointment. A lot of preparation went into this appointment. It was a $10 million listing. Actually, I sold it for $10 million, so it was actually a $12 million listing. But I had never sold a $12 million listing. It was my first time. And basically, this experience was built entirely on trust and their belief in me. So when I was on this appointment and I was leaving again, the gentleman said to me, have you ever sold a $12 million property? I said, no, but you'll be the first. Mm-hmm. So the point is also that, you have to be confident in yourself, believe in yourself, and to, your points that you were talking about, people that are new in the business or people that have proven track records of success, there's always that opportunity for you to open it up to whoever you believe is going to work hard for you. Mm-hmm. And that's at the end of the day how you're going to build the trust in the person and how you're going to pick your realtor. So successful, proven track record of results is one element, but who do you feel that you can trust? What brand is that important for you? What brokerage they're part of? And who is ultimately going to get you to the finish line?
So with that being said, why should someone pick you?
When we're in front of people, in their heads, they're always thinking, why should we pick Laura? Why should we pick Laura? Why should we pick Kate? Why should we pick anybody? The point is that we have to feel confident with who we are and that we will basically serve that person to the best of our abilities. Whether it's a lease, whether it's a $2 million property, whether it's a $15 million property. I, for example, build my entire business on relationships. And I feel that in my first career, I was able to learn so much about the business and how to run a business that when it translates into my real estate career of how to run a business, but the ability to negotiate really crazy, hard transactions with the person in mind, that's the area that is, for me, a challenge, but I have a lot of experience and I just love the people that I deal with. So it's almost like a pay it forward. I genuinely mean that. I say that constantly.
Yeah, very well said.
Awesome.
Yeah, how about yourself, Kate?
It's hard because, you're sitting up here and I think everyone on this couch is, results driven, transparent, honest. They market well. Obviously our social medias are on point. So, when people ask why should we hire you? I want people to hire me because they're connected to me. Because it is a very, very tight relationship. And in markets where, houses were selling in 3 to 5 days, that relationship was short. But now in this market, which is more normal, actually, we need to focus on the fact that this is more normal. These relationships can go on for weeks and sometimes months.
Right.
So you want to hire someone who you're like, I trust this person. I trust their judgment. I trust that when they give me advice, it's sound and it's what they would do in my best interest. So it's like, we have so many top agents in our marketplaces, so many top agents that we can refer to. I think the number one thing, as you had mentioned, is picking someone that you feel really, really comfortable with. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, if this relationship is something that's slightly more prolonged and hopefully also continuing into the future, it's someone that you can rely on when you're like, okay, I have a real estate question. I'm going to call Kate Broddick. I'm going to call Marina. I'm going to call Laura. So that really is when it comes down to it, most top agents are doing the right things. So it's who's doing the right things that you feel comfortable with.
Right.
Right?
powerhouses.
Basically everything that these ladies just said, honesty is definitely one of the big ones, and honestly reputation as well. Like you want to make sure that your agent has a good reputation in the industry, because at the end of the day we're doing deals with other agents, and if you don't have good rapport with those other agents, good luck getting that deal done. You know what I mean?
People that not that I genuinely like, just they're amazing realtors. They're always letting, hey, I got this listing coming, or you know, and we work together.
Yeah.
How can I sell that listing for them? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's collaboration, camaraderie, right? And that's
Exactly.
something that tends to get swept under the rug in this industry. But I mean, if someone that I trusted, another colleague, called me up and needed something, I would be there. And you know what? You know who to call when you have pocket listings, or you've got something that you need sold fast because of whatever the situation is. That's really important.
Yeah, I just did a deal with an agent, and they were a bit like old school. I hate to say this, and they were just so hard with me, and I'm just like, hello, let's work together here to make both of our clients happy. And like now I know in future, if I have a listing and they're coming in with an offer, I'm going to treat them the exact same way they treated me, because like usually people are nice, and like us agents, we're friends. We want to work together.
Right.
We want to just like get the deal done and make both parties happy, so everyone can walk away knowing that they won. Do you know what I mean?
I find that that's, you know, that experience that you had, it's not as common as it used to be, and it's so refreshing, like dealing in, you know, these transactions with wonderful realtors. And that one time that you come across somebody that, and I'm like, wow, that still exists. Like I literally have a hard time with it.
Right.
I'm like,
You know why? It's because
oh my
we're
gosh.
raising the vibration in this industry, right?
That's what it
And the people who are not following suit in bringing that positive culture, positive collaboration to the table, they feel it. They're being ostracized, right? Because we want to work. Like if I'm doing a deal with Marina, like if she answers the phone, I'm not going to sit there and pump my chest and ruffle my feathers to her. I'm here to build a relationship with her, so both of our clients are going to be happy.
Yeah.
That's an awesome attitude and outlook to have. And at Spark, Michael and myself all the time say it, that the realtors are on the forefront and leading our industry, and are really the ones that are promoting it in a big way, right? So we look at the realtors as the backbone of our business, because you guys have all the hot leads, and you guys are doing all the hard work on getting that client in the palm of your hand and signed on a contract. So what do you guys look for with the financing arm? Like, what do you look for? What kind of confidence does that give you? What do you expect from the financing arm?
So when a client will tell me, oh yeah, I'm working with somebody from the bank, I'm like, oh my God, no, right away. I'm like, no. Do they answer their phone after 5 p.m.? Please tell me they do. But honestly, you guys, I can't wait to do business with you guys. You're just on the ball. Like you're really on the ball. And I feel like mortgage brokers, like you can call them at any time of the day. You're there, you're servicing your clients. And it's kind of like us realtors. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say it like this, but like there's purple bricks that like you kind of just like are talking to somebody behind a screen, which I feel like is kind of like a bank environment. And then you have brokers and realtors who are like out there in the field, constantly available, picking up their phones, replying to emails, following up. And it just, that you guys are killing it. So
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And it's communication too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just like we would be a team,
Yeah.
keeping us up to date with the client, making sure that we are in the know within those financing conditions and like the timelines within. And so keeping in conversation with that is really important.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's huge, because even for myself, I was on the bank side, not being on the broker side. I saw that, whereas, the client would come to me to the bank, I purchased this property. I never asked who's the realtor. I never asked, what's going on in the transaction. It's like, here's your mortgage, it's black and white, and that's it. If it didn't go through, it didn't go through, it didn't get approved. You know what I mean? Whereas now it's, like you said, you're building that camaraderie, you're building that relationship. I talk to the realtors almost on every transaction. Okay, like we're getting to the finish line. This is how we're going to get there. Need a little bit of help with this or some information. So yeah, I love that it's like that team effort for sure.
we need to talk with each other, because like if we don't, it's just like, okay, what's going on? Like I talk to the lawyers and the mortgage brokers at all times. Like I have to.
And it's also heightened client experience, right? When everyone's in the know and we're in the know and the client's in the know, we're able to pass that on to the client, and the client feels like they're genuinely being taken care of because everyone understands what's happening in that transaction.
Right.
It's really important.
Yeah, we built that right into our processes in our CRM system, Monday.com, where it's the communication piece, not only for the client, but the actual referral source being the realtor. And there's not 3 days that goes by without us reaching out, even if there's no new news and we're still waiting on the bank for an approval, or it's not asked of the realtor or the referral source as to what the status is of that file. So keeping everyone in the know is just extremely important. So I love that you guys highlighted the communication piece for sure, right?
I would say that for me, and I know that I would speak, I'm sure, on behalf of my colleagues here, like capabilities, competency, knowledge in the real estate market. Like, what is the market today? What should we be offering to the clients? How can we get them through this process? That is critically important for me in determining who I'm going to be collaborating with. In terms of Spark Financial Group, what I found that was really unique was that you have a really great team. You have everything you need to actually fulfill to the end part, right to the execution. I can't tell you how impressed I was when I came to your location and I saw, oh, this is so-and-so, this person does this, and this person does this, and then this person, so you don't have to send the deal to the downtown, no, you're right there. You have one-stop shop. I was literally impressed with that. The third thing that I would say to you is that communication, I know my colleagues also shared with that, Kate and Marina, that is so important. Sometimes, a particular buyer will say, I want to deal with this particular financial institution. Well, so-and-so's on vacation, this person's on vacation. We'll get back to you, we have a deal.
Yeah.
We're in progress of buying a house. I'm about to go into a multiple offer situation. Whereas when I'm dealing with a financial broker that really knows who I am, first of all, we're extremely loyal to one another. The loyalty is incredible. But I'm in the middle of an offer. It's 8:00 at night. Can I push it to this? I need to know because we might have to go in firm with no conditions. So that broker is on the phone with me, that mortgage broker, critically important. How high can they go? I don't want to get them in trouble. Please, can they afford this? Yes, or else I got to back out. Right. I need to know those things, right? In this particular market, we're not facing a lot of multiple offers. We still are in some cases where people are pricing their homes more effectively. But I would say that the communication has to be there, super strong. And I love that your communication is super strong. A one-stop shop, end-to-end, really having good strong core competencies and capabilities is really important. So for me, that is a reason why it would make me more loyal to Spark Financial Group, is because of all those attributes.
Yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
That means so much
genuine.
Coming from you, Laura.
I don't just say anything. It's true.
And you guys kill it on social media.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
We tip our hats to Mr. Joseph Tito and David Viela for that. They do an awesome job giving us amazing direction. And when they came into the company, totally changed everything in regards to how we're being seen on screen now. So I mean, I've got to tip my hat to those boys. They do an awesome job running that department. So love you, boys.
We do too.
Yeah. Okay, well, we wanted to thank you guys very, very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come here on set with us today. And it was an absolute pleasure hosting 3 powerhouse females that are leading their industry and doing an amazing job at it.
Thank you again for coming out. And thanks again for tuning in to What Would It Cost? We'll see you next week. Coming up on What Would It Cost?
We've been exposed to rates that are higher than what they were this time last year for a long period of time. Like, we're still actually operating on rate holds. You guys would know this better than anybody else. We're still operating on rate holds from 90 days ago, up to 90 days ago.
Yes, I agree. Rates will continue to go up. That being said, real estate is a lagging industry. The effect that these interest rate hikes are going to have, we don't even know yet. We don't know. No one knows. No crystal ball. Yes, we can look and make educated guesses, but I agree that the market's overreacted to the small hikes we've had so far. King and Spadina by the gas station, where my billboard is.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't seen it.